So I like to start off talking about the organization by just talking about the organization chart. And maybe you've seen an organization chart, maybe you haven't. Organization is generally broken into three sections: sales and marketing, operations, and finance. And a lot of business owners spend like 90% of their time in operations, maybe 5% of their time in finance, and the rest of it in sales and marketing. And, depending on the organization and where it is in its life cycle, maybe more time in the beginning is spent on sales and marketing because there are no customers. But once kind of things start rolling, then you tend to spend a lot more time in operations, and often that means that sales are going to drop off because nobody's paying attention to bringing in the new deals. So if you look at how Pareto's principle works, you can break down most things into 80%, 20%. So maybe 80% of your marketing is bringing in 20% of your clients, or 20% of your team is producing 80% of the revenue, or 80% of your team is taking up 20% of your time. So, this principle can be applied really all over life. And specifically, it's always going to come out in business. And so I'm talking about it in the beginning because you're going to hear me mentioning it a lot during this series. As the CEO, you can see here, you're going to spend time bringing in customers, running the company, and managing money. It's not really 33.33% spent on each, as I said, but those are the three different things you got to spend your time doing. And then when you really look at how much time are you spending on sales and marketing versus how much time are you spending on your analysis and your budgeting, most time, again, in the beginning, it's going to be heavily weighted on sales. But if you ask any business owner who's been in business for a few years, how much time do you spend working on accounting, let's say, my favorite subject, versus how much time you're spending doing the work that people have paid you to do, most people are investing at least 80% of their time doing the work. So that's kind of how your organization is probably working as well. It will be cyclical, so during tax season, maybe you're going to kick that finance piece up a little bit, spend some more time there, but in general, you can expect that this is going to ring true for most people. And I want to say, for most people, the things that I'm saying here, you're never going to get 100% of everything being always applicable in every situation. That's just not going to happen. It's always going to be, almost everything I say here is going to be applicable to the majority, and sometimes it'll be applicable to everybody. But if something that I say here doesn't ring true for you, all that means is that you're in the minority, and maybe that is good for you and maybe it's not, depending on what the topic is.